I have looked forward to this interview for some time since I knew that Shirley Roberts, my guest, would be with us. She has written a book that I think is going to become a companion to the Bible for me in my life. It's called Doris Inc., A Business Approach to Caring for Your Elderly Parents. Shirley, welcome to 100 Huntley Street.
Thank you.
I am living what you have expertise in, and you are a bit of a forerunner for me because you have been living through and now are helping others live through what my sister and I are going through with elderly parents. Life is unwinding, health is unwinding, and now we face all these pressures, and it's truly stressful. I mean, I run a pretty large organization here and do so with, I hope, great confidence, but as I'm working through the issues with my father especially and my mother, Dad's 90 and mother is 88, just don't have the confidence that I need to have. Trusting the Lord, yes, but when it comes to having the skills to know what to do, I've never been down this road, and you've given us a great resource. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
So am I alone in this journey?
Oh, you're not alone.
A lot of us baby boomers out there.
There's a lot of baby boomers that are struggling, and I do a lot of speeches, and I hear from people firsthand and just frustrated and like, what do you do when Mom doesn't want my help and yet she needs my help? I get this all the time.
You've been on the program before, friends
Yes.
with our own Moira Brown, and I know that people out there are aware of you, but tell us who Doris was and what Doris Inc. is.
Doris was my mother, and Doris Inc. became what my brother and I called how we took care of my mother. We both have Ivy Business School degrees, and for a year and a half, I didn't do it very well, like everyone else, and I discovered that I needed a way to handle this, and I drew upon my business skills, and my brother did too, and we found this amazing way to take care of my mother.
So you built a business plan
to
take care of your mother.
We started taking on a leadership role over the care of our mother.
What happens early on? And I feel like you should be interviewing me and diagnosing my situation, but why is it that adult children are hesitant to take leadership roles with their parents? What's that dynamic that goes on?
The dynamic is that we don't want to deal with death and dying. We don't like to face that we're going to lose our parents someday, which is inevitable. And the parents, on the other hand, are frightened of losing their independence. And they're in denial of their decline, big time. And so when you put these two together, no one wants to talk about this. It's an emotional issue, and we avoid planning for the inevitable.
So the people we care for the most, we talk to the least about the subjects that are most important of the time in their lives.
Yes. Yes, and I've talked to healthcare professionals, but I deal a lot because of my speeches with healthcare professionals.
This is your world.
This is my world, and they say the biggest issue is lack of communications.
Between
children and their parents.
And what about the siblings themselves? You know, having to work through with your brother and sister came up with a plan.
Yes.
You as sister and brother came up with a plan.
Yes.
I have a sister.
Yes.
We're trying to come up with a plan.
Yes, and there's dynamics too there.
Oh.
And the one who is closest and is going to be the primary caregiver sees it from a different perspective from the one who's far.
That's right.
And the one from afar thinks that the one close by should be there 24 hours a day, and the one from that's close by sees all the issues in a more intricate way.
Shirley, why am I feeling guilty some days? It's there. I love my parents. I want to be a good son, but there's some guilt within me. What's that all about?
The guilt comes with when there's a time when your parents need extra care, and they need professional care, not just your sister or you coming in once in a while. There's a point I call the stages of decline in my book, and when they reach the assisted living stage or even supported living stage, we need to keep an eye on them. And eventually, when they need a nursing home, when they've reached the point of what I call dependent living stage, needing 24-hour-a-day care, where it's not possible for one person to be there 24 hours a day and still get sleep. So they need professional care. And yet there's a guilt. There's this feeling that you should be able to do this. You should
Carry it yourself.
Carry it yourself. Bring your parent in with you and manage them 24 hours, manage their care 24 hours a day. And we feel that we should bring a sea of people in to help us, and they shouldn't need a nursing home. And yet, the other side of the equation is, as I learned, there are good nursing homes out there. As long as families are willing to support it and work as a team with a nursing home, that provides the very best care possible.
24 hours a day.
No, families working as a team coming and providing what I call helping the nursing home provide not just physical care, but emotional, spiritual, intellectual, and physical care.
But the parents staying in that nursing home 24 hours.
Yes, parents
but
staying.
then coming in and being a support is what family does.
That's what family should do, and that's what family doesn't tend to do.
So tell me about that.
What
tendency is to go the other direction and say,
okay, now they're
home, God bless you.
God bless you.
I'll see you on Sunday afternoon.
See you on
after church.
Sunday afternoon for just an hour.
Yeah.
Whip in, whip out, and I'll just sit and just watch and order the staff around. Okay? That's not how you get best care.
No, that's not. You have to have a relationship with that staff.
Yes.
They need to know that there's accountability, that family members are engaged, and they care for that member of their family in the facility.
That's how you get the best care.
Yeah.
And when you're involved in their care.
Yeah. And you're meeting with the professionals, the folks
Yeah.
that work with them every single day. We have more to talk about, but just want to, if you just joined us, this is Shirley Roberts, and she's written this wonderful book called Doris Inc., A Business Approach to Caring for Your Elderly Parents. And I would like to thank 100 Huntley Street for providing this therapy for me, because we're going through this in the whole family right now. Dad, you know, independent, all these strong leader, not an easy man to disagree with, loves to give orders.
But men,
strong mother.
Men
you know?
are tougher than women because men are more used to being in a dominant, controlling role.
Yeah.
It's just they kind of grew up that way, whereas women not quite so much.
Well, I want you to introduce you
See,
to my
I need
mother.
to meet your mother. I understand. I have to meet your mother to figure that out.
She probably would be a book all in of herself.
Yeah,
because
not always.
Strong person.
Yes, and they get stronger as they get older.
Yeah, that's right. More determined. So, when you're out speaking, what are some of the top questions that you get in your Q&A time? What are some of the issues that are common, whatever group you speak to, wherever you are in the United States or Canada?
Well, one of the biggest was, what happens when mom says, no, I don't need your help?
Okay, it's a great question.
Okay, and that happens a lot. Yeah. And it's usually some issue that they need more care, they need to move, there's something that you're trying to help them with, and they're resisting. And we need to understand their fears and concerns. We need to uncover those, and we need to still have them have a sense of self-determination. Everybody needs to feel in charge somewhat.
Absolutely.
But then we need to take a leadership role. That's the business approach, and gradually nudge them patiently. We have to be patient too, because Rome wasn't built in a day. This change is hard as you get older. It's hard when you're young.
Yeah.
As you get older, we don't like change, and we're fearful of losing control. So we have to put ourselves in their shoes, understand what's going on, and then we have to gradually nudge them in the direction that's in their best interest.
In this book, do you walk us through these kinds of
Absolutely.
issues?
I get into, some women are buying it and saying, I'm going to give it to my daughter for a Christmas present, because then I'll get good care.
When we were talking before, by the way, the book's available on our e-store. You want to get it. I'm going to be using it, as I said. I'm going to put it by my Bible to help me in this situation that our family's in. Before we came on, you talked about you were at a conference or something. You had a conversation with an elderly mother who had fought this issue for years, and then she was ready to make a change. And just walk us through that dynamic.
I got, it was a health expo I ran for my church in Bath, Ontario, and I spoke about the lack of communications between adult children and parents, and I made it very clear that we should start this conversation early with people in their 60s, 70s, not to wait until they get ill and older, they become less objective. And at the end of my speech, this woman, she was in her 80s, she came and said, with this very serious look on her face, she said, I think I turned my children away. I didn't, they came to me, they wanted to talk to me about my declining years and what would happen. And I wasn't ready for it yet, and I turned them away. And now I need their help. I've got this big house, my husband's in a nursing home. I need their help. I think I'm ready to sell my house now. But they're not, they don't want to talk now.
No, they turned away.
They turned away now. And so I basically said, well, maybe just give them the book, get them to start reading, and then just start to talk and just love them.
So your counsel to me would be keep the conversation going.
Keep the conversation going. Don't give up.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Just keep, it's bit by bit. You have to keep nudging them in the right direction, but be patient.
Right.
I had to do that with my mother.
Right.
She was getting dementia. Her church came to me and said, your mother isn't safe for her to be living on her own anymore. And I was in a different city, and and it'd only been 2 months since my father died, and it was all happening so fast. And I basically suggested to her, let's go look at retirement residences. Okay, and she didn't want to go, but I said, well, let's just look. She used to do that with me as a child in terms of which chore do you want to do for Operation Snappy Clean before company comes. So I got thinking about which one rather than not at all. So I used the same tactic on her, and it worked. And we went to visit a retirement residence, and she saw one that she liked, others she didn't like, and so there was some sense of self-determination that she could choose which one, and she could go for a 1-month trial. She didn't have to make a commitment. A lot of people don't know that you can try
It's a month at a time.
That you can just try it. There's a furnished apartment. You can just try it for a month to see if you like that particular retirement residence, whether it's for you or not. Right. So she tried it for a month. At the end of the month, this was in January, which I purposely chose winter, so she immediately said, I'm never going back. Okay, brought her home. Within 1 month of going home, she realized home wasn't the same anymore without without her husband, and she decided then that maybe she would like to move back. She had met a nice lady, Betty Brown. They became friends. Maybe she would prefer to go back. But she had to make that transition of trying, then going home and trying that again. And only then did she make up her mind.
And it took a patient daughter.
Yes.
And your brother.
And my brother.
To help her work through that.
Yeah.
I know you've been here before. I'd like for you to come back again. And I've just made a new best friend. My goodness, thank you so much. I'm very, very grateful for this. Shirley, God bless you. And folks, I don't know if you're on the journey that I'm on right now, or you are looking ahead and seeing you're going to be on the journey. Shirley has been on that journey, and she has a keen insight, a keen eye. She brings a business mind to it. She has not left any of the emotion in it. It's quite transparent what you've done. But
But I've also dealt with the emotion that I felt as I was going through it.
Yeah. So I just don't think you're going to lose. Would you please contact our e-store and click that button and purchase Doris Inc. by Shirley Roberts. Shirley, thank you very much. You have been a benediction to me this day, and I thank you for coming by.
My pleasure.
And please pray for the whole family, would you?
I will.
Thank you very much.